That was an awesome show.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
And Josh, we stay streaming while I edit, but don't hang around unless you absolutely want to. You're free to go. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. If you ever would like me to be on again, I would be very happy to because this was a very fun time. So thank you.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to have you back. Let's talk.
Right on. All right. Good luck.
Right.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye.
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 What are we going to do for titles?
Well, I have some thoughts.
You too.
We've got Xiaomi the soundbar,
Of course.
Mr. Plasma, one man's trash is another man's power, which I really like. Come on down to Google's Crazy Enterprise. Was Crazy Eddie outside of New York?
I don't know if he actually was or if we just all knew about him because of Saturday Night Live.
Okay. Because I was like, that is such a New York joke. I was like, who lived in New York? All right, so we have Bad STK, No Biscuit. Ban assault drones. Oh boy, maybe not.
Let's not get political.
Yeah. Daily Tech Trash Show.
I like my particular submission. This show is trashy.
Nice.
Yes. Very nice.
And all the things. I think
I
it's
wrote
good
trash
too.
talking about stuff you should know.
That's good. You can burn ghosts. I do like Dragon Glass.
That was a good call on the Dragon Glass.
Yeah.
I was
And of
trying to
course-
think of the most extreme way to describe this, and that was perfect.
There's also that plasma, though.
That plasma, though.
That plasma dough.
And the future is trash. I kind of like that.
Wheels.
I can't decide, guys.
Smart garbage.
That was another one I
Smarbage.
did. Smarbage.
Smarbage.
I better give you some titles.
I liked Beatmaster's Plasma is so hot right now.
Yeah, that is good.
I laughed at that at the time. I saw that pop up.
I didn't see that
like
one. Good
it.
job, Beatmaster.
I like that one. I like a world in which, in the future, people are actually.
Someone's calling me. I think it's the
Okay.
the vet. One sec.
I like a world where people are actually fighting to pay you the most for your trash.
For your trash, right?
That's my
Trash
favorite.
scarcity. We didn't even get into
Yeah.
that side of things. That's amazing.
And just like all of a sudden, my trash is more valuable than your trash, and like it's just great.
Can you imagine if your trash collection bill was issued by you?
Yeah.
Like you got
Yeah.
your trash collection payment?
Yeah, that'd
Every
be
month?
pretty cool. And then I was thinking, like, what would be the movie application? It was like people accidentally falling into the plasmificator, and becoming stuck in dragon glass.
It's awful.
Well, you missed my erudite point, which was, I forget, that it was, trash scarcity, the idea of being paid for your trash.
Yeah.
But then I went one step further to the Hollywood movie version of it.
I'm making so much money off my trash these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's. I mean,
actually-
it sure gives me hope that like we can solve this problem.
If
Like,
you
it's
think
kind of amazing to
about,
think about trash being gone.
I think I'm about to write a movie in the post show. If you think about who currently is most manipulating the trash crime syndicates, right? Like it's often the mafia that has like trash services under their wing. I think plasmification would have some uses for the illegal mafia too.
I don't know what you mean. There's no such thing as a mafia.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
That's a reference to Goodfellas.
Well, you would know.
One man's trash is another man's power. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going.
I think
I'm
that's
going
a
with
good
that.
one. I'm going to start a Reddit thread with my plasmification movie and see what happens. Maybe I'll sell
Plasmification.
a movie by the end of today.
The hoarders are going to be laughing all the way to the bank.
They are.
Actually, they won't because they still won't want to get rid of their stuff.
Yeah.
That's true.
My
Maybe it'll take an
garage.
incentive to fix hoarding.
You're sitting on a gold mine, Grandpa.
Yeah. Problem solved. This solves every problem, basically.
So many problems solved.
So many problems.
We start having shortages on plastics and stuff because we've still run out of oil and everyone burned all their trash for power.
Well, if they could break everything back down into base elements that they can reconstitute, like kind of like the replicators from Star Trek.
Oh yeah, if you could start to sift the elements out and then recombine them, that's the next step.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wondered why they don't just replicate a person. I mean,
Too complex. There's one. I don't remember which episode. I'm not quite that geeky about it, but there is an episode where they discuss that in relation to the transporters, particularly.
Yeah. Yeah.
wait,
Yeah,
is it
you have to. It has to be talked about. Got to talk about what would happen if you tried to replicate a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Be covered.
Why not? They've done it though. They did it with Commander Riker, and they gave him slightly.
No,
more
they took an
ideas.
actual human being's pattern and split it in two. Roger, it's different.
Well,
They didn't create it from nothing.
The pattern's kept in a pattern buffer. Why don't you just
Right.
use that?
It's a lot easier to say I can create a pattern from nothing than to do it.
Yeah.
You and your legs.
TVZ Gun is worried about the plasmification and its effects on our neighbors. Darn hipsters. That was one thing I wanted to get into and I forgot was like, so we can't do this in our house, right?
I think could they make like little tiny
Probably not
like,
yet.
Like a
plasmification?
trash compactor. Gadget.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Just a miniature plasma torch underneath your sink.
It'd be really hot. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think you'd be anywhere near it when it's running.
Ugh.
And of course, you'd have to protect it from the kids.
Or not. Be like,
It's not you, Marty. It's your kids.
Something's got to be done about your kids.
I still find it's so weird where you find them in other movies. Like, wait a minute, that's just Doc Brown.
I just watched Star Trek 3 last night.
Yeah. It's like, he doesn't come off as, he just comes off as Doc Brown, like, playing a Klingon.
In the center of a dead
We've
planet.
got to go back to the future and stop the Federation.
Let's slip the dogs of war. That's him,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
No,
No,
was-
that's 6.
That's 6. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
and that,
Roy Havoc!
that was supposed to have Sadik originally as the traitor.
Oh, but they were like, no.
He's like, oh, you can't take a well-established character and make him a villain.
Go get that unknown actress Kim Cattrall and shave off most of her hair.
Is that what they did?
Yeah, Kim Cattrall's like, she has like a Vulcan like hardcore bob, and then her side where lady's hair would gently come down is all shaved, so it looks like she's wearing a mo wig. And talking about sabot.
That's where I always think of that.
Yeah.
Saboteurs.
In control.
Sabotage.
Samantha.
Yeah. Okay, so now Netflix it plans to offer. I was out, so I'm reading all the old news.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah, I'm
like, what?
like,
Don't
well,
tell me
no.
Netflix announced another thing.
No. They're negotiating for Star Wars and want to offer news. They want.
Yeah,
tech-
the news thing was them saying
Yeah.
very poorly using the word news because they just
Yeah.
mean docs, I think.
All right.
Like more current docs than the ones that they've had in the past. More Vice-like stuff, I think.
Vice.
And Vice is like, everybody just keeps imitating us.
Oh my
All right, I'm gonna hit the road, Jack.
Okay, fine.
Have a good day.
You too, guys. I'll see you later. Catch you on the flip side.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Semi-times.
Semi-times. One man's
Um,
trash is another man's power.
Trash is another man's empire. Trash empire.
Yeah, I got to go write up notes about all the freaking Netflix things they said last week.
Mm-hmm.
Too many. Too many. That thing about credit cards, I still think is silly. I still think that's. I've had a few people try to explain why it might be true, and they're definitely valid and fair attempts, but I remain unconvinced. I think what they did was very clever. They said, in part, our drop in subscriptions is related to the chip and pin thing. And I'm sure in part it is. But that can't possibly account for the majority of it. Most people, when you got a new chip and pin card, had the same number.
Exactly.
Yeah, mine was the same number.
Yeah.
That sounds like a bunch of hooey, actually.
Yeah. I think they may have had some involuntary churn.
Right.
In other words, people just, their card number changed or their expiration date went out, and then they didn't bother to re-up. And it would probably caught them by surprise how many people that happened to, maybe. But I don't think it has to do with chips.
Well, I mean, it didn't happen to us.
Because mostly what it means is people weren't using the service, and when their credit card stopped being valid, they didn't notice.
Right. Interesting. Though those chip and pin cards, I don't think we've seen the full wave of chip and pin card problem because most of the places where my chip card goes still don't have their things set up and activated.
Oh yeah, yes.
That's the coming wave.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But totally true.
And retail is still surprised half the time when they see it.
Because the deadline was just that the chip cards have to be issued,
right,
and that anybody who doesn't take them is now taking the liability on themselves.
Right.
But you're right. Like tons of places are just like, well, I guess we'll take the liability on ourselves.
Yeah. All right, so over under on seeing Luke in this trailer.
No.
We're not, right? Yeah.
He's not in the poster.
Yep.
He's not in any of the trailers, and I don't think that'll change today, although it could be wrong. I think this is setting us up for a big revelation about Luke.
Yeah.
That they can't show him. Like, there's that leaked picture of him dressed up like Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah.
That got out. I think that's not representative of who he is in the movie. So, like, maybe he turned dark. There's some crazy theory out there that he's Kylo Ren, and that's why Driver is being so circumspect about answering questions. And that Driver actually is I don't know. But there's something going on with Luke that we do not expect.
Yep. Oh man.
It can be one of those water cooler movies.
I think people will be talking about it, yes. Please, I've gone into full producer mode for just the tickets. Like, I've not produced this much, this intensely in one day since, 2006. Unless you count the Buzz Out Loud reunion.
Which I think you should.
Well, even that wasn't as intense as the Star Wars ticket situation.
I'm just waiting until the Canadian elections are over before I decide.
What is the deal with the Canadian elections?
Oh, no, it's today.
Oh, but why is that important to your life?
Yeah.
No answer.
I'm just curious to see who wins, and they'll determine whether or not I watch the movie right away or not.
Which movie? The Canadian election movie?
No, Star Wars.
What?
Wait, the Canadian election decides whether you watch Star Wars right away or not?
Yes.
Why?
No reason.
Roger, you need to get out the house. Walk around a little bit.
What's on my lap?
Take the baby for a walk. Can you do
I
that?
have. She doesn't like the leash as much as your dogs.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
Well, that's it for us. Bye, everybody. I'll see you on Cord Killers later today and on DTNS tomorrow.